Well, welcome back to Weather Nation. We're back with the tropical outlook, and Emily, we know it's been very active in the Eastern Pacific, and this is one of the reasons why we say that. We have Hurricane Hector out there still spinning nearby places like Hawaii.
Yeah, they're just about in the clear. They've been dealing with the impacts of Hector on the Big Island in particular, really through the last day, and that is going to continue to make its path out to the west and clear out from the Big Island of Hawaii. But we're still dealing with some threats for some strong winds in that area.
Yeah, and when we take a look at the max winds associated with this storm system, we're still talking about a Category 3 storm with max winds at about 115 miles per hour. And as we continue to track the forecast, it takes this storm pretty far west. So in, let's say, a day or so, this storm will no longer be a threat to Hawaii. It'll just be a fish storm, as they like to say.
Yeah, still going to be dealing with some of the effects, though, of Hector out on the Big Island as we move through the day today. We still have some tropical alerts out. This is a tropical storm warning on the eastward side of the Big Island, where they could still be seeing some tropical storm force winds through the day today.
Yes, and definitely high surf. So if you were thinking, hey, okay, the storm is nearby, we can get some big waves, we just want to encourage you to be safe because it still is a pretty dangerous situation. We
still have a lot more to track, though, out in the Pacific. We have Christy turning out a little bit more into the ocean. But John, this is actually going to bring some impacts to us here in the Four Corners region, just funneling in a ton of moisture, but we're not expecting any landfall impacts from that.
Yeah, but as we take a look at the latest, now we saw this storm actually weaken into a tropical storm. Max winds just under that hurricane strength, and it's continuing to move toward the north. And you mentioned it, as the system moves toward the north, it still will help pump a lot of moisture into the south and west. But eventually, by the time we get to Sunday and Monday, this system should be fading away.
Yeah, a pretty beneficial storm, bringing in that chance for rain, but not giving us any catastrophic landfall impacts. So that is something we like to see. Taking our focus out, though, into the Atlantic, we're tracking Debbie here. Tropical storm moving off to the northeast, bringing in 45-mile-per-hour winds. We're not expecting any land impacts with this storm either. Just going to continue to make its track out to the northeast and stay over the ocean.
Yes, so this storm system not impacting us, but again, it is something that finally has happened in the Atlantic after being so quiet for so long. But now let's switch gears and let's take you to what's happening across parts of California. We have Lake Elsinore, California, and this is video where you see the planes right there dropping fire retardant, so that way they can help fight the fire threat that is still out there and ever so present across the west.
Yeah, unfortunately, we are still talking about dry and hot conditions out in the west, and that is just continuing to fuel the fires that are burning out in California. Here's a look at what we're dealing with, the weather setup here. We have a stubborn ridge of high pressure contributing to hot conditions for our Thursday, but good news at least for parts of the northwest. We have a trough that'll be digging in toward the end of the week. That'll bring some relief from the heat and even an increase in rain chances for some of us. For now, though, out over California and even portions of the northwest, we are talking about just dry air pushing in, high fire danger and even gusty winds. So that'll continue to fuel the fires, and there are plenty of them that are burning out over the west coast. We have fire weather alerts out for the day today. Those stretch all the way from parts of California, Nevada, up into the Pacific Northwest, even into portions of Montana and Idaho. So we are looking at widespread areas of high fire danger concerns all the way into the weekend. Now, the wind speeds, something that will also come into play as far as our fire forecast is concerned. Out over California, we are going to see those winds increase slightly for the Ferguson fire, where we see those plumes of blues and greens popping up on the map. That's indicating some higher gusts, and that's something we'll deal with on and off over the next several afternoons. Now, we have a lot of large active wildfires burning across the country. Total acreage currently burning, that's 1.63 million. That's a lot, and most of those burning out over the west coast. So we have a lot to talk about regarding those fires, and the Mendocino Complex fire now is actually the largest wildfire in California at over 300,000 acres. That's at 47% containment. The Carr fire, the Ferguson fire, also very large. Both of those starting to push that 100,000 mark for acreage. We're going to be talking a little bit more about the heat and the fire danger concerns across the country coming up.